I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez.
Lanez could be let out of jail. They could let this nigga out of jail at any time. This video start with Megan with her mouth open. I ain't never mad at that. Ow.
When Megan was partying at Kylie Jenner's house with friends, shown here in an Instagram Live. Also at the party, rapper Tory Lanez. Megan, Tory, and Megan's friend at the time, Kelsey Harris, all reported that they left the party together while they were in the...
He started shooting.
Could Tory Lanez actually be found innocent? Is there a chance he might walk free after the incident with Megan Thee Stallion? Let's break down what's really going on. So first things first, there's a lot of buzz going around, a lot of people on social media, especially on platforms like X, about Tory Lanez possibly being released from prison. The reason, a legal filing known as a Habeas corpus petition. It's not a declaration of innocence, as some fans might think. It's actually a process that allows his team to question whether his trial was
legal,
conducted fairly. That's all we want, is fairness in this. And we've said that from the beginning. If you look back at some of my old videos, I was definitely like,
oh, habeas corpus. I never tried that. I remember niggas used to have a big book from the law library. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Let's just make it fair. There's too much doubt here for him to then be convicted on all charges we knew was a travesty. So habeas corpus is basically a way to challenge if somebody's imprisonment is lawful. Tory's legal team is using it to claim that there were constitutional or procedural mistakes in his trial. This isn't about proving he didn't do it. It's about whether the process was fair. If they're successful, it could lead to a deeper investigation, a retrial, or possibly even his release. Again, it's not a guarantee of freedom or innocence. All right, let's rewind for a second. Tory was convicted in December 2022 for an incident involving Megan Thee Stallion back in 2020. A jury found...
Is that her legit limping? That's the limp? That's right when she got popped? Or is this just somebody? Let me see. Rapper Tory Lanez, charged with shooting Megan. I think that's a real limp. Let's see her limping. That's cool. It's sad if he did that. But I ain't know they had a limp.
December 2022 for an incident involving Megan Thee Stallion back...
She got all her toes and she get her toes back? Did they get them? Did they grab them up or they not?
In 2020, a jury found him guilty on several charges, including assault with a firearm. By August 2023,
that nigga don't look like that. Who is this nigga? That's a whole nother nigga. Got a full set of thick hair. You got to put that regrow hair right here that he had. You got to put that. All right, I'm shut up.
He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This case has sparked a lot of public discussion around celebrity influence on legal proceedings and violence against women. You remember all those people who were so quick to say that Tory was guilty. You know, remember there were a lot of people that were just dead certain that Tory was guilty. There were a lot of people that were saying he's guilty, let's move on.
But as you said, this isn't necessarily an argument of his guilt or innocence, is whether or not the procedure was lawful.
It was by design, because you can see how things are moving out here now. So his recent legal moves are getting a lot of attention. Tory Lanez's argument and his appeal. Lanez's legal team has been busy arguing that his trial was tainted by certain biases. They've pointed out that the prosecution used things like his tattoos. He's got a tattoo of like an AK-47, his lyrics, and even his social media posts to paint him as violent. His team argues that this was unfair under the California law AB 2799, which limits the use of creative expression in court, and it should have protected him from that portrayal. Another angle that Tory Lanez's team is pushing, a missing witness, the driver. If you remember correctly, the driver was such a big thing. After the case was over and Tory was already in jail, he came out with a written statement that alleges that he tried to intervene and even attempted to take the gun away from someone else at the scene. This could
that other girl
potentially add doubt, which we all said there was doubt, to the idea that Tory was directly involved in the shooting. Tory's team believes this information could have changed the trial's outcome if the jury had heard it. right? We all know the story. The guy pulls up, he's on a trip doing work outside the country, and then all of a sudden he's not admitted. Now you're probably wondering what happens next. The California Court of Appeals has asked the Attorney General to respond to Tory's claims by late November. They'll decide if there's enough here to issue a show cause order, which would start a deeper investigation. If the court finds Tory's arguments convincing, it could lead to a retrial or other legal actions.
Okay, Tory.
But keep in mind, this doesn't mean he'll automatically be set free. So, is Tory Lanez innocent? And will he walk free? Right now, we can't say for sure. This legal process might be his last shot. This might be the Hail Mary, so to speak.
Nigga, this is certainly the Hail Mary, nigga.
We'll have to wait and see if his team's claims hold up in court. For now, he's still in prison. And this is one more.
That shit is coming up. That nigga Lace Front is coming apart. What is this shit, nigga?
Step in a long road of appeals and challenges. There's a lot of things that were murky in this case from the beginning. If you look back at some of my older videos where I talked about this, we always said there was a pink gun. Why would this guy have a pink gun? What was the motive for him shooting Megan?
It was a pink gun? What? And then somebody else, there was a lady was accused of doing this shit? I didn't know that.
We also said she was fighting somebody else at the time. Why isn't that person being considered? There was no GSR on Tory Lanez, or a very limited amount. But everybody else out there that's been talking trash, that's been saying how guilty he was, we're going to see. We're going to see when this thing gets reviewed. I want to hear a lot of apologizing out there, because you all did this guy dirty. Somebody who was so beloved during the pandemic for his Instagram stuff. He was just rising up the ranks into mainstream, and you all shat on him for somebody else who couldn't give a damn about you. You want to see what she's up to today? It's funny, but it's not funny at all. If you want to go back and see what I was talking about all
right, well, that's this guy's video. I'm not a legal guy, but I mean, things might be looking up for Tory. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Tory coming home? Does Tory really shoot Megan? Would he do such a thing with a little pink gun? Does Tory just like pink guns? That should have been a goddamn conspiracy, nigga. That's what we should need to be investigating. That's my next video. Does Tory have a little pink gun? Pause, nigga.
Don't cut his dick off, dog.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, wow, wow. Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, where you're standing. What you need is a lover, someone to take over. Oh baby, don't look any further. But Dale, bumper T-I-O. Oh baby, don't look any further.